kid to know that guns exist, so when he finds one somewhere, goes over to a friend's house and they have a gun and he doesn't know what to do when he sees it, then that's on mom. That's not on the NRA.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I think that just about wraps up our firearms in the news. Let's move on to defensive gun uses.
Go ahead. Make my day.
6:45 shots fired at my location.
And now, defensive gun uses from around the world and around the block.
This story comes out of Weakley County, Tennessee, and this was aired on WBRS Fox 6 News. Investigators in Weakley County, Tennessee call a deadly shooting there an act of self-defense. And according to the deputies who responded to the home, they found a 45-year-old man dead in the upstairs bedroom of the house, and he had been shot. This man had earlier pled guilty to a charge of domestic assault in September, and there was an active order of protection to keep him from contacting his wife, who lived in the home. The investigation revealed that this man, who was living near another town close by, parked his vehicle about a half a mile from the home, and then he hiked to the home and he broke in, where he proceeded to assault his wife with a knife. And apparently he had his own firearm, and he fired more than one shot at her with a semi-automatic. She had her own firearm in the bedroom and returned fire, where she hit him. And so far, there have been no charges filed, but the grand jury is going to hear this in January.
Well, good for her for, taking the initiative to protect herself.
Absolutely. She knew she was in danger. She probably predicted it, and she took the necessary steps to prevent herself from being a victim again. Right.
Obviously, she knew that he had a propensity for violence, and that she thought that this type of incident might occur, and indeed it did. So good on her for protecting herself and taking out the threat. So
exactly.
Good for her. My story for defensive gun use is, the headline is, Parents of Armed Robber Question Why Pizza Hut Employees Shot Their Son. And by the way, this is from BlueLivesMatter.com. It says that a Charlotte, North Carolina, a Pizza Hut employee shot an armed robber Sunday morning when the armed robber's parents say that the employee should be in jail for shooting their son. On Sunday, October 30th, the day before Halloween, in Charlotte, North Carolina, 3 men walks into a Pizza Hut after closing hours to rob the business. One man, later identified as 28-year-old Michael Grace Jr., pulled out a gun on the employees. One of the employees had his own gun, and he pulled out his gun, and he fired back, striking Grace in the head and killing him. Police did recover the gun after the incident from the bad guy, and the other 2 suspects ran away and have not been caught yet as of this article. Sounds like a cut and dry case of an employee protecting himself and his co-workers, right? Well, not to the parents of this armed robber. Apparently WBTV sat down with the parents to talk about the situation with their son. The parents say that they definitely do not condone the actions of their son, but Grace's mother added that if there was to be a death, it was not the place of the employee at Pizza Hut, that is the place of law enforcement, she says. And his father said that wasn't a body shot, this was a head shot. My son was shot in the left side of his head, just behind his ear. A headshot is personal. A headshot does not mean it is personal. A headshot means that the employee took aim and protected themselves, is what it means, Mr. Grace. The family says that his death was unjustified, stating that even a criminal has a right to a degree. He also said that she believes that the employee who killed her son, this is the mom, the employee who killed her son should be in jail for what he did. And Pizza Hut released a statement on it and said that the local Pizza Hut franchise is fully cooperating with the Charlotte Police Department as they continue their investigation, but want to stress that the security of its staff is of utmost concern. They are providing support to the team members involved to ensure their health and well-being following the incident, and the employee involved in the shooting has been placed on leave of absence following further review. So Mom and Dad are upset that Junior was killed by a Pizza Hut employee because he decided that he would carry a gun into Pizza Hut to rob them.
I'm speechless over this entire story.
I know,
because
right?
Parents will defend their children till the bitter end, and I can foresee a senseless lawsuit coming up out of this.
Oh, they'll sue. It probably won't go anywhere. I don't know. Maybe civilly, they will sue, and Pizza Hut will probably settle out.
Yeah.
So they'll probably get money out of it, but
it's senseless and good. I have to give kudos to the employee. I don't know if Pizza Hut has a rule against no firearms on premises, but he carried a firearm for a reason, because he felt that he may have been a delivery person, who knows, but at some point he probably felt like his life was in danger, because the story happened after closing hours.
Right, after
it's
closing.
Really late, and of course that's when a lot of robberies occur in businesses like that, is when they're closing.
Absolutely.
So I have no problem with him pulling out his firearm to protect himself and his coworkers.
No, but Mom and Dad, they just can't face the reality that their son grew up to be a dirtbag, and that he played stupid games and he won a stupid prize. So
it's got to be somebody else's fault.
Yeah, always got to blame somebody else besides the person that's at fault. And in this case, it was Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on, because I have another defensive gun use in the news.
Lay it on me.
Okay, a woman fends off a would-be burglar with the butt of her gun, and this happened in Middletown, Ohio. She fought off the would-be robber by beating him with her gun, and it happened around 12:30 a.m. Monday morning. And the homeowner, Louise Jones, told the police she was in bed when she heard a noise in her kitchen. Jones, who was in her 70s, went downstairs to check on the noise, and at the time she rounded the corner, she found an arm reaching through the window in her kitchen.
Wait a minute, she was in her 70s?
She's in her 70s.
Wow, she's a spry little lady, huh?
I know. So when she saw the arm coming through the window in her kitchen, she ran to grab her gun, and she called 911. So she told the police later that before the police got there, she began to beat the man, trying to keep him from entering her home. She started scratching and digging at his skin, pushing him, just knocking the crap out of him with her fist, and she even hit the man with the butt of her gun. So he couldn't go in or out. Apparently he was stuck.
He was stuck in the window and getting his butt kicked by a
70-year-old lady. Yes.
I love it.
And she told the police, she told the reporter, "I don't ever want to kill a person, but if I have to, I will. And I don't believe that any woman or young girl that's being attacked should run, because she's going to be killed anyways. I believe she should fight back." And the man eventually got loose from the window and he ran, but the police, he dropped his hat. The police picked that up, so they've confiscated that for evidence. So
maybe
good.
they can track him down.
Well, good for her, being in her 70s, and she still has enough presence and the willingness to protect herself and her domain.
I don't know that beating him with the butt of the gun was the best course of action there, because, who knows where the muzzle of that gun was pointing as she was whacking the guy's skull with it, and it could have discharged and shot somebody else in the house or shot herself. I don't know exactly how she was holding the gun when she was whacking the guy with it, but
But I guess she felt like beating him with the butt of the gun was better than shooting him at that point.
Perhaps.
So she made that decision. She made the decision to not shoot, but she protected herself.
She protected herself, and the end of the story is she's alive, and because she had a gun. She might still be alive if she had a hammer, but but she's alive because she protected herself, and kudos to her.
Yep.
Okay, let's find out what is in your range bag.
Hey baby, it's time to talk about the hot, sexy new guns, holsters, ammo, gadgets, and gear from the firearm marketplace. So come on baby, let me take a peek. What's inside your range bag?
Okay, my range bag item of the day is the Sparc 2 red dot sight. I have one on my AR-15. Janet has one on her AR-15 as well. If you're not familiar with the Sparc 2 red dot sight, it's great. It's a ultra compact. It's lightweight. You can mount them on AR-15s, even shotguns. If a pistol, as long as they have a weaver or a Picatinny rail to mount it to on top, you can mount it on top of there. It's digital rear-facing controls for powering it on and off, and adjusting the MOA. And MOA, for those who may not know, stands for minute of angle. That's an adjustable measurement on scopes that allows you to keep on target with it. The Sparc 2 has a daylight bright red dot brightness of 10 intensity levels, so you can adjust the level on it if you're out shooting in bright sunlight or whatever. You can adjust the level of the intensity of the red dot itself. Oh, it's O-ring sealed too. It's waterproof and fog proof, and it's got a multi-height mount system that accommodates bases, and you can change the heights on it too. It comes with heights adjustments on there as well. You can adjust it to 4 separate mounting heights for the user and for too, so you're not going to get any glints on the sun if you're out shooting in bright sunlight with it. And it's rated for -4 degrees all the way up to 158 degrees Fahrenheit.
About the operating temperature, we're in Central Florida, where it gets pretty hot down here. So if we decide to go to some of the northern states, states that are a little bit north of us during the winter time, and we take these firearms, will that sight work the same as it does in Florida?
Oh yeah, because it's rated to -4 degrees. Unless we go to, I don't know, Alaska. Does it get colder in Alaska than -4? I'm sure it probably does.
It might.
Sometimes it probably gets -4 in other areas here in the continental U.S. So it should be fine.
Well, cool.
Yeah, it's got non-critical eye relief too, so it's for good rapid target acquisition, and I love it. It's a great sight, and it's got a long battery life. It'll 12-hour auto shutdown feature. If you happen to leave it on, it'll go off by itself to conserve the battery power on it, and that's a great feature because I'm very forgetful. I know I forget to turn my electronic earmuffs off sometimes, and that doesn't have an automatic shut off on it, and I go back later to the range the next time, and then my earmuff batteries are dead, and I've got to change those out. But
oh yeah, that's like changing the batteries out every time we go to the range.
just about, I'm that forgetful. But getting back to this site, it's available at Bass Pro / Cabela's, because Bass Pro bought Cabela's, in case you haven't heard that. It's also available at Brownells, Dick's Sporting Goods, and hundreds of other places as well. MSRP on it's only $259 too, so it's very affordable. We actually got ours on eBay for $250 each with free shipping. So if you're interested be sure to check eBay. They have a lot of reputable dealers on there, and you can save yourself a little money there.
Well, yeah, like Tim said, we both have one, and it really is a pretty cool sight. Okay, what's in my range bag? I want to talk about speed loaders. And guys